Hello everyone. This video clip discusses another new lesson, morphology and word formation processes. Actually, this video clip is comprised of two lessons into one. The first lesson is about word formation processes and another one is about morphology. Because these two lessons are related to each other, that's why I would like to put them into a single one clip for you in order to watch. Actually, it's very important for learning about the new words which are formed in each language. Knowing about how the new word can be created can attract many linguists, okay? And it also results in setting a light on the other aspect of the language as well. Why are new words needed? Actually, invention of the new word has been happening every year because language is dynamic. We can see a vast amount of the new invention made in the field of linguistics in the 20th and the 21st century. And it could be one of the distinctive properties of the human language that the people use language and they are also creative. In this sense, they are also creative in order to produce the new word annually in order to serve for the use of language with all of the context in society. What is morphology? Morphology refers to the study of how words are created in any particular language. How about what is word formation? Word formation is the process by which new words are being formed in the language. Word formation is one branch of morphology. Following are the aspect or the subfield of the word formation processes. They are coinage, borrowing, compounding, blending, clipping, back formation, conversion, acronym, derivation, and the last one is multiple processes. It means that it refers to the multiple aspect of what I have just mentioned. I would like to start from coinage. Coinage refers to the creation of the totally new term into any language. We can see that most of them come from the name of original inventor, the product name, or even the company name. For example, like Google, which is known as the giant company in America. Nowadays, we use Google as another new invented word in order to have its own meaning as well. Another example like aspirin as well, that it's come from one of the inventor. And the inventor in the field of medical science, or he invented or found one of the famous medicine in the world that in Khmer we call aspirin, nam aspirin, okay? Yes. Hyponym. Hyponym is underlie the coinage, but this one specifically refers to the new word which based on the name of a person or a place, such as sandwich, that we have this word follow the name of a famous guy who invented sandwich. And we have gin. Gin, it originally derived from one of the term in a French language. In English, the meaning is blue or genre, Genoa, everyone is aware, is a famous Italian city for the industry of textile of medium quality used for work clothes. That's why jean today has been offered following this name. Another one is borrowing. Borrowing, it is the process which refers, as the name claims, when a language borrow term from other languages. For example, like alcohol. So alcohol can be the English word which borrow from Arabic language, both from Dutch language, piano from Italian language. We have another one we call loan translation or CAR. For loan translation or CAR is a direct translation of the element of a word into the borrowing language. For example, like Spanish from English, perros, calientes, that we call hot dog, okay? That it can be equal to the word hot dog that we have nowadays. So it means that we produce the direct translation from the Spanish language and then we use it in English as hot dog, like what we have nowadays. So the difference between loan translation and the first section that I have just mentioned is that loan translation is direct translation, while the former one is just the word that you borrow from other language. Another one is compounding. Compounding, it refers to the process of joining two separate words to produce a single word. The two words don't lose their individual sound. For example, bookcase, fingerprint, sunburn. So you can observe and see how this word can be combined by the other two words, like bookcase. We have book and then we have case together. Finger and then print, it becomes fingerprint. Next is blending. Blending is similar to compounding, but blending refers to the joining of the two terms in order to produce the new term. However, in this case, one of both words loses a sound. For example, like motor. So motor, it's come from the combination of the word motor and hotel. But after blending already, it becomes motor. Telecast. It has the joining of television and broadcast. But after blending, it becomes telecast. Spanglish is the joining of Spanish and English. But after blending, it becomes Spanglish. Clipping. Clipping is a synonym of reduction, or make something shorter or less than before. In this process, a word that has more than one syllable is reused to a shorter form. For example, like brassiere, okay, we just call bra. Phonetic is friend. Situation committee, it's sitcom. Facebook, Airfresh. So it means that clipping, it is with another replaced word that is reduced or shorter than before for such a process that it can be no longer as the former one, like what I'm showing you. It depends on the language user as well, like phonetic and friend. Nowadays, in the text or in the language use, most of the people, they prefer using the word friend rather than phonetic. Even sitcom rather than situation comedy. Back formation. This process happens when a word of one type, it's usually noun in terms of part of speech, is changed to another different type of word, usually is a verb in terms of part of speech. For example, like donation is noun and verb is donate. Option is noun and verb is opt. Babysitter is noun and verb babysit. Another term to watch is hypochorism. Hypochorism is the reduction of a long word to a single syllable and the y and ie are added to the end. For example, like television. So television, it reduces from the long word to only the word tele, that we have letter y at the end. Barbecue, it become barbie, that we have letter ie at the end. Breakfast, brekkie, ie at the end as well. Conversion. Conversion, this is the process of change of the function of the word. For example, when noun come to be used as a verb without any reduction. For example, like butter. Butter. Butter can be not only noun but also as a verb. Water. It can be noun and it can be verb. Water. It can be noun and it can be verb. Like water. Person by which noun meaning that person by which verb meaning that. So we have the same spelling but two different part of speech. Acronym. Acronym, sometimes words are created because of acronym. Acronyms are abbreviation, PSOCAT, pronounced as if they were word. They have proliferated. For example, like UNESCO. So UNESCO, we can get this acronym which is based on initial letter of the full word. UNESCO stands for United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. So after using each initial letter, it becomes UNESCO, but you can pronounce as if it is the full word. So when we spell out, it becomes UNESCO. CD, okay, it's come from compactness. Initial letter C and D together, it becomes CD. Affixation. Affixation is the process where we take a base form word and we add a prefix or suffix. I think you are familiar with what is prefix and what is suffix, especially in learning grammar. Prefix is an affixation process which includes adding a morpheme at the beginning of the word. For example, like aunt or uncountable, for example. A suffix is a segment that we add at the end of the word, like is. For example, like foolish. So, is added after the word fool. So we can take note or observe that prefix, it stays at the beginning and suffix, it stays at the end. Or in case we have both prefixes and suffixes, for example, like the word disrespectful, so we have prefix dis and we have suffix ful added with the word respective. Multiple processes. Multiple processes, it means that this word can be created with more than one way, especially based on the way that I have just mentioned from the beginning for the word formation processes. It has the combination of different processes in other words. For example, like deli. Deli, we could see that this word has been borrowed from the German delicatessen, and after clipping process, morpheme. Morpheme is defined as the smallest unit into a language. For example, like meaningful. So we have three phonemes: min, ing, and then full. So together, meaningful. We have different types of morpheme. The first one, free morpheme, bound morpheme, lexical, functional, derivational, inflectional, and allomorph. We begin again from free morpheme. Free morpheme, we refer to all of the morphemes that stand by themselves as a single word. For example, like open, tour, or teach. Bound morpheme. Bound morphemes are those that are attached to free morpheme in order to have a meaning. We believe that prefixes and suffixes are the common bound morpheme that we attach with the word. For example, like undress, okay? So this one, prefix un, is the bound morpheme, and dress. Dress can be the stem, it can be the single word, and ed, it can be the bound morpheme. It is the suffix at the end of the word dress. Care, lessness. So this word care is stem, this is the word originally, and then we have less, is bound morpheme. It is the suffix, and ness as well, the bound morpheme, the suffix as well. Free morpheme, lexical, and functional. Lexical morpheme are usually free morpheme. They carry their full meaning in the word itself. We can add new lexical morpheme to the language rather easily, so they are treated as an open class of word. For example, like the noun, adjective, and verb. For example, noun like man, woman, girl, etc. Adjective, sad, long, short, and verb, open, read, run. For functional morpheme, they are the words that bring a function inside of them. They assist lexical morpheme that I just described at the moment in order to add detail to the meaning. We almost never add new functional morpheme, so they are called closed class of words. For example, like the grammatical function of conjunction using and, preposition on, under, etc., article under, or pronoun it, she, them, etc. So these words are classified as closed class. So we can use them functionally inside in order to add detail to the meaning, or it assists the lexical morpheme to have further function. Bound morpheme, derivational and inflectional morpheme. Derivational morpheme, they refer to those bound morpheme that create new word out of or with a free morpheme. For example, like payment, quickly, and goddess. So we can see the suffix, right, as bound morpheme that we add in order to create the new one. For example, more, like quickly, li, and goddess, s, right? If we continue with the bound morpheme, derivational and inflectional morpheme. Inflectional morpheme, these are the morpheme that have the word to change their grammatical function. They are normally suffixes, like car. So when you add s, okay, so it becomes cars. It becomes plural, right? That it change grammatical function. So car with s, it becomes the plural. Do, okay, done. So here, do is the best form of verb. So here, done is become the verb 3. Coldest. So here is adjective, and coldest, it is the superlative comparison that we add est at the end. Morph and allomorph. In inflectional morpheme, Mock is an actual form used to realize morpheme. For example, when we check the word car with S, right? The plural of car. So car is the stem and it is the lexical morpheme. And S, the suffix, it is inflectional morpheme that it signifies with the function as plural. Therefore, we can see that there are two marks. ចឹងសម្រាប់ mock យើងរាប់វាស្រួលទេយើងរាប់ថាតើមាន morpheme ប្រមាណអូខេនៅក្នុង inflectional morpheme អញ្ចឹងយើងឃើញប្រមាណគឺជាចំនួន mock ហើយដូចពាក្យ cars ដែលវាជា plural ឡានច្រើនអញ្ចឹងយើងឃើញថាមាន lexical morpheme car ហើយនឹង suffix s ដែល s គឺជា inflectional morpheme តំណាងឲ្យ function នៅក្នុង grammar គឺពហុវចនៈ How about alamop? Alamop are the variant of the same morpheme. They are said to be the different realization of one morpheme. For example, the plural marker S, okay, it has 3 alamop with s, sh, is, right, which occur in different environment of word to become plural. For example, like cat, dog, ducks, houses. Okay? We can see that all of these words are plural. It under the umbrella of the plural marker S, right? But we have 3 alamop. So the first alamop is the suffix of letter S, and here letter S, but the sound s, okay? Letter Z and houses, is. Therefore, under these, we can say that there are 3 alamop which occur in different environment or different situation of the word. ចឹងសម្រាប់ alamop គឺជាភាពខុសគ្នាផ្សេងនៅក្នុង morpheme តែមួយដោយនៅក្នុងឧទាហរណ៍នេះ morpheme ដែលយើងសំដៅលើ morpheme តែមួយគឺជាប្រភេទ morpheme នៃអក្សរ S ដែលបង្ហាញអំពី function នៃពហុវចនៈក៏ប៉ុន្តែដោយសារពហុវចនៈដែលយើងថែម S គឺវាអាចមានភាពខុសគ្នាទៅលើ alamop ភាពខុសគ្នាទៅលើការប្រើប្រាស់នៃអក្សរ S ដែលមានសំឡេង s ហើយនឹង is ទើបធ្វើឲ្យ3ហ្នឹងវាបែងចែកទៅជាប្រភេទ alamop ឡើងដល់3ប៉ុន្តែវាស្ថិតនៅក្នុង morpheme តែមួយគឺ function តាក់ទងជាមួយនឹង plural maker suffix s at the end. Thank you for your attention, everyone.